are you this afternoon?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm very good. Thank you and welcome to the 2:30 session of the HOPEfest 23, our inaugural fest here that we're having at beautiful downtown at the Hangout here at 16th and Indiana in beautiful downtown Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, where you can come down and get some bites to eat and all that. We're streaming live here, and they've got Cheers Dispensary next door with all kinds of great medicine and all that kind of good stuff here for you. And so welcome Sierra Riddle. You know more about this one here. Let me cut mine out. Go ahead.
Okay, so I have been watching Sierra for at least 2 years now. Her story and her fight for Landon is incredibly inspiring. I have never seen a mom fight so hard and stand up for something she believes in so much, and it's incredibly inspiring. Little did you know, your fight for your child stumbled upon my research on how to heal myself, and removed a lot of the stigma that I had. I come from a private Catholic school background, and it was incredibly stigmatized where I was at, and the way that you fought for your child gave me a comfort and a peace to allow myself to medicate that way. So your story touches more people than you realize. And I'm a complete stranger. You have no idea who I was. And then I just reached out to you and was like, hey, I really would like to have you involved in what we're doing, because it's so incredible of your fight. So, Landon, I'm going to let you go ahead and tell Landon's story in your fight. And I encourage you guys to look up Landon's story. There's videos out there. There's some good footage. Sarah, you've done a fantastic job with that. So I encourage y'all to go look after this too. But I'm going to let you take the microphone.
Well, thank you so much for that lovely introduction. And thank you for putting this together. I really appreciate it. You know, I've been doing this for 10 years now, and there is still such a huge lack of education out there, not only for children with cancer, but for adults. So I appreciate you. Thank you very much for putting this on. So hello, everybody. My name is Sierra Riddle, and I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a researcher. I am just a mom. But in 2012, my 2-year-old son was diagnosed with terminal cancer, leukemia, which is the actual #1 diagnosed cancer in children in the United States. Supposedly, it has a 93% success rate. Within 90 days of those treatments, my son was dying. He was reduced to 50% of his body weight. He could not walk. He could not talk. He could not eat. He was on morphine, Oxycontin, Ativan, Zofran, promethazine, and the list just kept going. They wanted my son, and also every other male child in the United States, to do 4 years of chemotherapy and radiation in the beginning, and then he would do steroids and also antibiotics for 4 years. So at the 90-day mark, they came in and told us that they were so sorry, but it was not working, and we were going to send Landon home on hospice to make him comfortable. I did not accept that. I drove straight from that hospital with my mother from Salt Lake City, Utah, straight to Colorado. Landon became America's youngest citizen given a medical marijuana card, and the results were almost immediate. I never had to give Landon any more Oxycontin or morphine once I got him up to a good dose, which was about 500 milligrams. And then I was able to consult with Rick Simpson and Raphael McCoolum and a couple of other just really incredible pioneers in our industry, and create a protocol plan for Landon, which was 1,000 milligrams of THC per day and 500 milligrams of CBD per day for 1 year before I was ever going to lower it. My son is now 10 years cancer-free from doing that protocol, as well as changing his diet and nutrition. Unfortunately, it didn't stop there for me, though. Once we moved to Colorado, got his legal medical cards, Landon's hospital saw that he was doing better, and they wanted him to go back on their chemotherapy plan. I refused, and they called Child Protective Services. Not once, not twice. I was reported and investigated over a dozen times with a legal medical card in a legal state because they wanted to take my child from me and kill him. That is the only reason. So thankfully, Dr. Robert Malamud was a pioneer for me, as well as a lawyer in Colorado, Warren Edson. And we went to court and we went to bat for Landon. And I was able, you're gonna make me cry, girl. I was able to win Landon's right to compassionate cancer treatments. And the way I was able to do that is I had been given all these bottles of chemo that I was supposed to give Landon. In fact, I actually still have them. I could go in there and grab them right now. And I did not give those to Landon. I picked them up and I did not give them. It went all the way to that they illegally took my son's blood and sent it to Washington, D.C. to have it tested for trace amounts of chemo before our final court date. And the judge was going to make a decision then if Landon would have to continue chemo or not. And again, Landon was the first child ever that I said no to the chemo. So it was a very big deal. And at the time, we didn't know a lot about scientifically, right, what it could do and everything else. But again, Landon had blood cancer. So I was able to see in blood results that it was curing Landon's cancer. It was also making him healthier and stronger. He could walk again. He could talk again. And I was not going to let them kill my son for the name of chemotherapy and big medicine. So thankfully, we were able to show them through science and through logic and reasoning and what those medicines did to Landon and what those treatments did to Landon. We're going to kill him. And we are the only country that does not support all types of different cancer treatments, right? It is chemotherapy and radiation, and that's it. And if you refuse, they will try to take your child away. So I was very thankful to have some very good mentors and people to help me to be able to get the right information and to be able to fight for Landon. And I was able to win. And ever, since that date, Landon has never had a relapse. He has never had to go back to a hospital. He's never had to have narcotics. He's never had to have physical therapy for all the damage. And they permanently disabled my child, according to them, through brain radiation, and said he would never be able to read and write. Through high doses of CBD and THC, my son can read and write today. And there's no medical explanation for that. So the fact that people say that, THC makes children dumb and slows their progression is an absolute lie. And I have living proof. So now I've dedicated my whole life to helping other parents to find these plant-based medicines, to have safe access to them. I created a CBD product line just for children in 2014 called Landon's Health Hut. I have a nonprofit, Canamommy, where I donate over $100,000 a year in RSO to families that are in need. We are some of the only people, me and you, girl, looking at you right now, that do that. Why do we have dispensaries and states shoving down our throat every year how many millions of dollars they've made? And our children are suffering. Our wives are suffering. Our husbands are suffering. Our grandmas are suffering because they can't afford it. That is bullshit. And the only way to change it is the way that you and I are. So we have now been able to help thousands and thousands of families. I've also helped thousands of families flee from CPS to save their children. We created a movie about it. A man named Jeff Weitzman, who's a filmmaker, was so willing to hear our stories and make a movie. It's called Flipping the Script: When Parents Fight Back. And it is the story of a few parents that used Landon's case and as well as my products to get their child off of chemotherapy and radiation and narcotics. And all of those children are doing very well today. In fact, one of them just celebrated 5 years cancer-free, which is cured. So we are doing some amazing things and keeping, the momentum moving to help people. But still, in 2023, there are people that do not know that cannabis is safe for children with cancer, that they don't have to take morphine, they don't have to take Oxycontin, and they do not need 4 years of chemotherapy, which thankfully Landon's case and story and going viral and other parents bringing it up, we were able to lower that to 3 years. So we're making some progress, but it's not fast enough for all of the children I've watched die.
Yeah. And that's,
we have got to make more progress.
That's something that when you do things like we do, that is that's an extra, I don't want to say a weight, but there is definitely a heaviness that comes with when you join somebody on a fight and they're losing it. There's definitely that's definitely a battle. So and from a warrior into that is, you know, some of these times you're reliving those traumas with these patients.
Almost
They don't,
every time.
yeah, they don't realize the. I'm gonna kind of toot your horn a little bit. You don't realize the sacrifices emotionally that people like you offer to people who need help. That those are truly acts of love and the deepest and purest forms. You're using your deepest pain to help somebody else through their deepest pain, and that is such an honorable thing to do. I have so much respect for you and what you do. Seriously.
I really appreciate that. But it's like I tell people, the only accolades I need is my son running around annoying the shit out of me every day. Right? Mom, what? Nothing. Oh, I tell you what, bro, right? But there's a lot of parents that will never have that. And they never even had the opportunity to use cannabis because they were never told or because it's illegal where they live. We have had to help hundreds of thousands of families move to legal states so that CPS would not get involved. And the main thing a lot of people don't realize, they'll take all your kids. They're not just taking the sick one. I have a family right now that got a hold of me in Texas. The chemotherapy is not working. It is hurting this child more than it is helping. At this point, she would be like Landon. She's not going to die from cancer. She's going to die from chemotherapy. And they have called CPS, and CPS has already shown up with the cops and wanted to take photos of their children naked, take photos of their house inside their cupboards, and told them, we will take both your children away if you don't. So now they're staying in hotels and moving their little buns across my Undergreen Railroad, and they will be moved into Mexico within the next 48 hours. We are not going to let these children die. Yeah. We're not going to, but unfortunately, I can only do my side. You have to be willing to fight for your child's life. And there are a lot of parents that are not willing to do that. I'm not sure why. I know it's hard. And trust me, I ended up with colon cancer because of all of it, because I didn't take care of myself. I didn't outlet those emotions, right? Those traumas. Yeah. But that's a whole nother enchilada, isn't it? Yes. So trying to just get the information out there, trying to just tell people, hey, cannabis can cure cancer. Well, there's no medical evidence. I'm like, I have a whole one right here. I have the longest case study ever, actually, right? How come Pfizer hasn't hit me up? How come Moderna hasn't hit me up? How come they don't want to know why or how I cured Landon's cancer? Yeah. Because they don't care. There's no money in sick people and dead people, and there's no money in healthy people. It's all in sick people. Yeah. And as long as we keep giving our power away to these corporations, to these doctors, to these oncologists, they will keep us sick. And they're sailing the SS yacht Landon this weekend.
It's the benefits of a natural medicine just outspeak. It's just crazy what it can do, what we've seen, what you have to be really careful with the words you use. I'm not a doctor, but I have witnessed nothing short of miracles.
Well, girl, at this point, it's we the people, right? Where we the people are saying, this cured my son's cancer. This cured myself. This cured my mom. This cured my dad. Why won't they listen to us? That is what everybody should be asking when they're paying those insurance premiums. Why are we paying so much money for healthcare that has nothing to do with actual health and longevity? Recently our, age of death here went to 73. That is crazy. That is absolutely crazy when 30, 40 years ago it was 100. So whatever we're all doing, right, is working because we're still here. Our kids are still here. We're getting healthy, right? We're healing. We're moving that dial of humanity forward, right? But we have got to get more people willing to share their stories and to tell them. We've got to get more people willing to talk to their grandparents, talk to their parents, right? Talk to the elders in the community and provide them with support and affordable medicine. What you and I do, girlfriend, is such a blessing to this nation and world, because I go to, different states all the time, and their RSO is $60 to $100 a gram in a dispensary, and they can't tell me who grew it or what it's made from.
That's where I started in this industry. So in this industry as a patient, I was paying $65 a gram, and I just knew there had to be a different way. And it took me a good 3.5, 4 years to find it, but I did. And
And I've told people, girlfriend, since I've started making it available, it's in 2014, I've only ever charged $30 a gram. It's been the same price all these years. I tell people all the time, and I have my nonprofit, right, which helps people with free or even half. If people don't realize that dispensaries can give it to them for $5 a gram or less, right? But the people that we're out here running around the black market farms and making alliances and trying to get the best organic sun-grown cannabis to make the best oil because we're trying to really cure cancer, not keep you coming back, right? I don't want to see you again. I want to see you for 90 days and I never want to see you again except on Facebook living your best life. How many times have you ever heard that from a dispensary or an actual doctor? They'll keep you coming back the rest of your life. So if they're making, their RSO and stuff with trim, it's going to take you 10 times longer to be cured. If they're not giving you education on your diet, on your sugar, on your alkalinity, you know what I mean? It's like fixing one hand while you're sewing off the other. It has to be the complete puzzle in order to cure a person and bring them back into homeostasis.
so
And in fact, Landon just walked in right now. Landon,
oh,
come here real quick, bud. I want you to say hi on this webinar, please. Okay, it's for World Cancer Day. Okay, change your shirt and then you can come.
So what do you have to say to mothers that might run into the same thing that you did? All of a sudden they find a discovery that there's something with their child. Like what would you give
Well, really what I tell people is preventative. We are bombarded with toxins and poisons and radiation and everything now. Everybody should be taking a preventative dose of CBD at least daily, right? We do, I'm not telling everyone to give their healthy, happy children THC, but CBD will activate that endocannabinoid system enough to start getting rid of the things you have. But people want to wait until the bomb has been dropped and then try to fix it, right? So my best advice is the moment you find out, you better start doing something, changing the diet, changing their alkalinity, which you can get those testing strips on Amazon at any grocery store or health food store and test them. And a little bit of baking soda in anything will alkaline it, right? You can get tap water, you can get coffee and alkaline that shit with baking soda. Stop buying bottled fucking alkaline water. It's bullshit, but we could talk about that another time too. So if people will just do these things, right? A man actually won the Nobel Peace Prize way back in the day for discovering that cancer cannot live in an alkaline environment. Come here, bud. Scootsy. Wait, we're on two? Yeah, we're on. This is ours, but look, this is the one we're on. Here's Landon. He just got done walking the dog. How old are you? You tell him. Sometimes Landon gets a little nervous. We did a lot of media and Landon got really over it really quickly. That's our people. Landon, just say hi real quick and then you can be done. Tell them how old you are.
I'm 13.
And how many years cancer free?
10. Almost 11.
yay! That's amazing. We're so happy for you. Your story is amazing, Landon, and we appreciate you. You're a strong kid.
Thanks so much for letting us share.
Yes.
What you do for other people reverberates throughout the universe, my friend. So, I know it might sometimes be a tough job, but you're doing such a good thing for everybody else that we really appreciate you.
I appreciate that so much because it is a very difficult job. It's very taxing on the mind, body, and soul for sure. And especially to see, people half-ass it, right? And then not get to where they need to be, to not want to change the diet, to want to keep smoking cigarettes, to want to keep eating at McDonald's. It's very disheartening to see those things because I believe in this plant so much with my whole mind, body, and soul. I almost went to prison for it. So, I really believe that almost every condition that we have here, we can reverse by simply activating the endocannabinoid system and bringing the systems back into homeostasis. But again, people, when you're having to take such large amounts, right? It's got to be made affordable. And so that's why, people like ourselves are doing, what we do to help it be affordable so that people can access it, but getting ahead of the curve. As soon as you find out something is wrong, right, you need to start being proactive, right? People can get a hold of me through my email, sierrariddle88@gmail.com, or our website, cbdforall.org. Super easy. And, getting all of those things in line, give your diet, your nutrition, your supplements, right? Making sure you're cutting out the GMOs, and also putting a little bit of love, laughter, and happiness in your life. Those are the best ways to cure your cancer, to cure any disease that you have, right? And then maintaining that lifestyle for the rest of your life. It's not a diet. It's not a short-term treatment. Once you've reached that toxicity level, or your child to have cancer or any of these severe issues, that's it. It's over for you. Now you have got to live a brand new lifestyle, or you will continually be sick until you die.
Right.
So prevention and staying on top of it.
No.
Those are my two biggest things that I try to preach. And for the love of God, please stop eating so much sugar.
Because the hostess stopped it.
Hi,
Yeah, that's a tough one for me.
my name is Jim. I'm the founder of FECO Playbook.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
I freaking love you.
I freaking love you.
Way to go. Keep doing what you're doing. We are going to meet up sometime soon. Jamie is a rock star. Obviously, Brandon is a rock star. My son, Eric, is a 3-time cancer survivor.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. After his third bout with it, they sent him home with 9 pharmaceuticals, and cannabis oil eliminated 5 of them.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes, it is. And that was back in 2012.
Oh, wow. Right around when
so,
I was
yeah.
doing it.
Yep. So
How is he now?
He's 30. He's kicking ass. He runs our
That's
business. He's
awesome.
making money to help me do what I'm doing right now. So he's really bought into what we're doing.
I can imagine why. Yeah. Once it's, affected your life like that, it's hard not to want to get involved. It really is.
Well, his that charity is called Early Recognition is Critical, Eric.
Because the hostess stopped it.
Early recognition is critical.
Yep.
I love it. And is that, what type of cancer did he have?
He had Burkitt's lymphoma.
Oh, okay.
Super
Wow.
aggressive, kind of, it was doubling by the day. It grew from like
Yeah.
a golf
Wow.
ball to
Good
a-
for
to a
him.
bowling ball.
And never
Yeah.
had a relapse?
Nope, we caught it early. We've been on the oil since, and
I love it.
We didn't use the oil during it because it was 2012 and it wasn't, I honestly wasn't that educated on it. In the meantime, I personally got skin cancer. I used FECO to completely eliminate it after about 2 weeks of watching it do exactly what it said it would do. I read Phoenix Tears, and saw the potential for it. It worked so good that I only wanted to try to help people and make it easier for them to be able to use the product and not be afraid of it. So that's where FECO Playbook came in.
I love it.
And
I can't wait to meet
Cool.
all of you guys. I love what y'all are doing out there. I'm on the West Coast. You guys are in the Midwest. I'm actually moving to Florida. So we're going to take over the world, you guys. It's coming in hot.
That's our plan.
The FECO tidal wave.
That's our plan. I have been waiting to do an introduction in between you and Jim, so I'm glad we bridged that gap.
Awesome. Well, again, I know my time is about up. Thank you guys for having me and allowing me to share my son's story. I really appreciate it. And I am so down to meet up and collaborate with you guys and keep this tidal wave moving. We might have been in one of the first families, but we're going to be one of the last in here too, because I really believe in this. And I really believe in helping these children and adults get as far as they can with natural cancer treatments.
Amen to that, for sure. I'm in Miami at a Cannadelic festival. I met Paul Stamets today.
Oh, I'm jealous.
He's going to hook us up with his connection is Cindy is their psilocybin cancer guru. So super
I love
excited.
it.
Yeah. So we're all in. Great
Well,
talking.
I hope you have a great conference down there, and I'll be in Florida soon, and we'll have to all meet up for the next one.
I look forward to it.
All right. You guys have a great day, and thank you again for being here and joining us for World Cancer Day. Fuck cancer. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
I
Yeah,
really
yeah.
hope you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for
Thank you
having
so
me,
much.
and I love you guys. Thank you.
We love you
so
too.
much,
Thank
Sierra.
you.
Thanks so much, Landon. And you just coined the new phrase, clobberate. We're going to clobberate cancer. That's beautiful. So thank you so much. Get ready for our next one rolling through here, who will be
Marissa Benson.
There you go. Marissa Benson coming up next. Stay tuned.